everybody. It's me. I am out on my deck listening to the birds, and it's actually quite beautiful out. I am not in a winter coat or hat and mitts. Yay! So today we're going to talk about something. We're going to go there. We're going to go there. This one's called How to Let Shit Go Without Shitting Your Pants. Because a couple weekends ago, I did a workshop with a powerful medical intuitive, and within 24 hours, I was on the toilet. It was awful, like purge city. And sure, it might have been some sketchy fish I had the night before, but I also felt like it was a full body release of everything that wasn't mine anymore. And it kind of got me thinking, how many of us are walking around unintentionally holding everyone else's stuff? Their energy, their grief, their chaos. And we don't even realize it until our nervous systems are screaming at us, or our bodies are bloated with emotion, or we're sprinting to the bathroom. Yeah. So today, we're gonna talk about how to let it go. Energetically, emotionally, physically. And we're gonna do this without spiraling and without having to shit our pants. Sound good? Good? Everybody on the board? Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's ground this in a little bit of truth. This is what came through from Source. You are absorbing all day from conversations, interactions, and even sitting in traffic. There's constant input and overwhelm to the body. Finding your unique release button is key to dispelling the pressure that has been building up in the body. Your time here is precious, and you were never meant to hold the emotions and energy of others. So take back your sovereignty now. Claim it with these words. I am my own sovereign being, and I release that which is not mine. Just take that in. Remember your sovereignty. Most of us were taught to be nice and to hold space and to smile and nod, and we just took it on automatically, thinking that maybe one day we will have time to decompress this. But your body is always listening, and it needs space to release. It needs time. It needs doing nothing. So let's do a little bit of that today. But before we get there, I want to maybe talk about something else. A couple things, actually. So there is a myth of protecting ourselves when we get out there. And you've probably heard, and I've even probably talked about it, like energetic shields or energetic protection before you enter a room, or you're going into a crowd, or even building that light bubble, if you've ever covered yourself in a light bubble. And that's beautiful, but I don't want you to think that you have to go into life like you're entering a battle, all armored up. Because this isn't about defense, it's about standing in your own power. Okay? You don't need to protect your energy as much as you need to own it. When you walk into a room and your system starts picking up on someone else's anxiety or anger or grief, and you know it's not yours to carry, you can try a couple simple phrases the second that you kind of notice, ooh, that's new, that's not mine. And one of those is one of my husband's favorites. Not my monkey, not my circus. It's silly, it works. You say it under your breath, kind of out loud, and you can even say it in your head, but I find when you say stuff out loud, it's more effective, and it kind of cuts that cord immediately. I'm not taking that on. That's not mine. There's a gentler one that you can do. It's return to sender with love. It's quick, it's light, it's powerful, and it's effective. Now, part of letting shit go is realizing that you don't have to carry someone else's perception of reality. We can probably all agree that we all have had different upbringings, different childhoods. Mine is not going to be the exact same as yours. It's not the exact same as our parents, and so on. And each of us, because of that, will have a unique lens shaped by our childhood, our environment, and the experiences we've led and lived through. So we see this, especially in trauma situations. If someone has experienced a lot of trauma, their filter through which they see the world is that of danger and threat and fear and instability. And that's not wrong. It's real for them. But it's also true that not everyone will see the world that way. So if your reality feels like a never-ending dumpster fire, I've heard that a lot lately, the world is on fire, how are you still so happy? Or if everything feels like chaos, or everything feels like it's collapsing, that's your lived lens. And others may be seeing the exact same world, but through a different lens. And it doesn't mean that the people that are happier, or how can you be happy at a time like this? It doesn't mean they're bypassing. It means they're living from a different nervous system, a different history, a different internal world. And I'm saying this because people will often try and get you to see life through their lens. I see that's where a lot of conflict comes from. I see that's where a lot of social media influencers come from. See it through my lens, good, bad, or otherwise. They'll offer you their fear, their scarcity, and their urgency. And it's not necessarily to manipulate you, but because it's true to them. So I want you to recognize that and maybe empathize and hold space for that, but don't adopt it as yours. So you get to say, that may be true for you, but it's not the lens I choose to live through anymore. And that's self-trust. That's building self-trust that you don't have to take on someone else's stuff. And I want to remind you, it's not about denying what is. It's about acknowledging that reality is not one size fits all. Okay? So there are practical ways that our body can actually release this stuff. One of my favorite ways, grounding tool, somatic change, is just to shake. Shake your arms, shake your legs, shake your hips, shake your body. Just shake it out. Put on that Taylor Swift song and just shake it out. Shake, shake, shake. I'm not going to do it right now because I'm sitting on a pillow on my deck. But the more you can move any nervous energy in your system, anything you've absorbed, move it out of your body, move it, the better. My absolute favorite way is barefoot on the earth. Grounding, feet to the earth, on the grass. The more skin you can place on the earth, so if it's the summer and you can lay down in shorts and a t-shirt or a tank top or something, absolutely. The more you can do that, the better. But you honestly only need 2 minutes of it to release. Breath work is a really great way in the moment. I'm looking for cheap and easy ways to do this. So inhale through the nose, maybe hold at the top for 4, and exhale through the mouth. When you exhale, if you really want a deep release, sigh or make a noise. Let it all out. I really like, because I'm a verbal processor, so I like speaking about things that are, I'm triggered, blah, 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 blah. Let me talk to someone who can just hold space and witness this as opposed to trying to fix it. My husband's really good at that. There's also energetic boundaries you can set. Visualizations. I sometimes visualize a gold energy coming out of my heart and introducing me before I get to a space. And it's not to throw up a wall. It's just a frequency thing. It's to allow you to stay expanded and not shrink when you walk in. Sometimes after a heavy conversation or a draining day, I will use water, whether to wash my hands, have a shower, or even take a big glass of water. And I can say things like, I'm washing away all that is not mine, and I return to myself. One last thing that I haven't done, but I've heard about recently, is a color walk. So you take a walk in nature and you find one color. So you let your mind kind of soften and just notice. And having that focus of finding things that are that one color can you bring you back to the now. So let's do a check-in, as we always do, body-wise. Take a moment to hear what's here, because your body always knows. Please find a comfortable seat. Lie down if you want to. Close your eyes and take a few soft, full breaths. Listen to the birds. Now gently ask your body, is there anywhere that I'm holding something that's not mine? And I want you to pay attention to a sensation here. Is there anywhere I'm holding something that's not mine? Maybe it'll show up as a buzzing or a heat or a tingle, anything. Just notice it. No judgment, just listen. Is there anything else it wants to say, it wants to tell you, how to release it? Because your body holds your whole lived experience, even the parts you didn't realize you absorbed. So often the first step to release is simply asking, what's here? And being present with it. Now, can you get a read on what it is? Does it feel kind of obvious what you're holding? The story doesn't always matter, though. Just the fact that you're listening and you're letting the body speak to you. And when it does speak, meet it with love. Maybe place your hand where you feel it. And you can say, thank you. I hear you. We are safe to let this go now. This small moment of listening is everything. Even if this is the only time you do it this week, it's still everything. When the world feels noisy, when you've been absorbing too much, I want you to come back to that phrase that we talked about earlier. I am my own sovereign being. I release that which is not mine. I am my own sovereign being. I release that which is not mine. And if things feel a little stuck, you ask Source. Source, release anything that is not mine. You say it loud, say it in the car, say it with your hand over your heart. You're not here to fix or carry everyone else's burdens. You're here to love, to live, to show up from fullness. And letting go is part of that. Discerning what is yours, what needs to stay, and what can go is life. So, maybe the next time you're spiraling, you're exhausted, you feel like you're holding too much, you'll remember some of this. And you'll remember to let it out. Laugh, cry, poop if you need to. Just don't hold what's not yours. It's not worth it. You are sacred. Your time here is sacred, and your energy is sacred. Treat it as such, and let's keep it that way. We'll see you next week.